Hello, welcome back to Add It to the List podcast with Evelio and
Larry.
this is a podcast about two friends going through an imaginary, never-ending list of movies where one guy, me, pretty much has seen all of them, and and then Larry hasn't seen most of them,
Right.
and we're making him go through that list and discuss what his opinions are and how he feels about whatever movie it is that particular week. And this episode, we're going to discuss uh, the Expendables, the trilogy.
Yeah.
One that I actually assumed he had watched because
Yeah.
he's a huge action movie guy. He likes the Rambos and the Jean Claudes and all of them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's my shit.
Yeah, pretty much. And and me, not so much. And somehow I watched these, and he had it. So let's start off with Expendables 1. What's your thoughts on it?
There's no plot whatsoever.
What you mean, man? There's a plot.
No, there's not.
There's a plot.
Not really. It's just another day for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just there's nothing special about it. They get hired. They go do the job. They fuck up a little bit at first. Oops, sorry, Carlos. Uh, and then they try and fix it.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, that's the whole plot. I just told you. That's it.
Well, you forgot about the love interest, the Latina chick that
Yeah, the minor love interest.
that winds up being the daughter of the dictator, right? Yeah.
I don't know if that was a love interest. You're talking about for Stallone's character.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Is that a love interest
it's
though?
really like, yeah, where she gives him the picture, and like that's the only reason why they decide to do the job is because he's like has a thing for her.
I thought you were talking about Statham's character and
Yeah, that's another love interest, but that
Barney and what's Statham's character? Is it Christmas?
Yeah, the where he stabs the basketball on
Yeah,
the dude's chest.
that was
yeah.
one of my. I think that was my favorite scene.
Well, it's Statham, man. It's Statham.
Yeah.
Statham is Statham.
Um,
There's nothing else to be said about that.
it was it was an interesting start to the movie. Is like it was very standoffish.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They had like that standoff with the other team.
Yeah, on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting start, and so it was weird to start. I had very high expectations of this movie because
You got a whole bunch of people.
yes, and like I expected the action sequences to be amazing, and
Yeah,
but
they weren't.
it was really all about, like you said with High School Musical, it was all about Barney.
Yeah.
It was all about Stallone's character.
Yeah, it. I think even Stallone said like it was kind of hard getting the script to work for each one of these guys because each one of these guys had to have a certain amount of screen time
Yeah,
to work
yeah,
to work with him. Like they weren't gonna do the movie unless they got a certain amount of screen time. Like Jet Li in the film, like the only real thing that's memorable about him is him being in the back of the truck and then fighting. Oh man, Drago. What's Drago's real name? I forgot his name, but you know who I'm talking about. He turns out to be a bad guy at the end.
Gunner,
Yeah,
Dolph
Dolph
Lundgren.
Lundgren or whatever. Which is funny. You know that dude's a genius.
Really?
Yeah, he's like MIT graduate. Like he's like mega smart.
They say that in the movie.
No, but like legit in real life. Well, they're because okay, so this whole movie is about all these like older action stars
Yeah.
like being together. I really don't understand where the Expendables comes from. Like, I really don't understand that.
Well, based on what was said in the movie, is they get like hired by the government
Mm-hmm.
to do jobs where like the government can't take ownership for them. They can't like.
So essentially, it's like a Suicide Squad, but without saying Suicide Squad.
Yes, it's a
Like,
Suicide Squad.
So it's all about these.
Expendable assets.
Yeah. So it's all these guys, and they're all in this movie, and so you have to like play off. Like every single one of them has to have like their own little minor little story. The only one that didn't get it, which I think should have gotten it, was Terry Crews, but we'll go over that in just a bit.
Yeah, the first one he did not get it.
Yeah, you got
We got Jet Li,
Dolph Lundgren, you got ¿cómo se llama?
Statham,
Statham,
Stallone.
Stallone. Rodney Couture, which is the only thing they mention about him is his ears,
which is
cauliflower
funny.
ear.
Which is funny because my dad came and watched the first movie with me,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, I can't remember his name, the ear guy,
Yeah,
because I knew him from the UFC,
yeah,
and all I could remember is he has like nasty cauliflower ear,
yeah.
and I thought it was funny that the only thing that really gets mentioned about him
Are his
is
ears?
the cauliflower ear.
Yeah, and then so it's him, and then Statham and Stallone, right? That's
Yeah,
pretty much
that's
it.
it.
That's it. The first movie.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
just the
first
five.
movie, right? So they all have to have like these many little stories if they can. If not, it's like, oh well,
Yeah,
like Terry Crews doesn't get one, which is kind of the horrible part. To me, it's like the bad part because Terry Crews was like the shining light in this movie. Him talking about that blade in the plane was
yeah,
funny, and then the gun. Like
yeah,
I don't really care for guns, but him talking about that shotgun
yeah,
really wanted me to. I still till this day,
yeah,
I want a shotgun.
yeah.
Sorry, that's what I want. And him having that big old like scene where he's coming through just back to back.
Yeah.
I thought that was like,
He said Christmas came early.
yeah, that was like the
Yeah.
dopest scene to me.
Yes.
To me, that was one of the best scenes in like the
I mean, the
movie.
action sequences were great in the movie.
Not all of them. The plane one where they drop the gas and then light it on fire and all that stuff.
That was kind of corny.
But it was just Statham
Stallone
and
at that point.
yeah, there's just them two together.
Yeah.
Where they're doing like what's it called? They're trying to see what they have to work with.
Yeah.
But when it's all of them together, they're definitely pretty good sequences. I think also my other favorite one is like the one I mentioned, which was Jet Li versus Dolph Lundgren, because Dolph is like completely whooping his ass.
He's enormous.
Yeah, and then Jet Li gets him to like go underneath like this low height area,
Yeah.
and then he just starts
Yeah.
ranking him.
Wrecking him.
Yeah, so I like that, but I do remember this film, and I remember going to watch it, and I remember going to watch it because it's all these action stars, and more than anything, I'm not gonna lie, Statham. I went to go
Yeah.
watch it because of him.
Yeah.
Out of all, I really don't care for Sylvester's movies too much. Like his action movies are like hit or miss to me.
Yeah.
And I could say, well, the same thing with Dolph. Like, man, he was Punisher, bro. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, good for you. See, I wouldn't push that on for you. Um, Jet Li is great, but I don't think they even tried to make him a big part of this film. But
They didn't really try to make him a big part of the franchise, really.
no, not at all.
I'm
But
trying to remember. I'm having a hard time because there's really no plot
yeah,
distinguishing the three.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard, especially since you're watching back to back.
Yeah.
I had to wait the years, but the second one, well, let's just mention that the second one is the one where, um,
Liam Hemsworth, right?
yeah, Liam Hemsworth is in it, and
And
now
he
they
gets
have
got.
like, yeah, they have like a younger crew, and some of them get kidnapped. No, wasn't the Liam Hemsworth one the third one? I'm almost positive that was the third one. Wasn't the third one where he has the boxer that got knocked out by Floyd Mayweather, Ronda Rousey, and Liam Hemsworth?
No, I think the third one is the one with the younger crew. Because they all go back. Yeah, that's what it is. So the second one, Liam Hemsworth gets got. That's
Uh-huh.
the one with the plutonium with
Okay.
Church. The
With
third one
John
is
Claude being the bad guy, right?
I don't know who it was.
Wasn't it John Claude being the bad
I
guy?
believe so, but I can't say for certain. And then the third one is you okay, dog? You look confused.
It's
The,
horrible.
the third one is they just blended so poorly.
Yeah.
It's
Well, keep in mind you watch them back to back, and I haven't watched them since they were released in the movie theaters.
And that should say something.
Yeah.
And then the third one was the one where Harrison Ford takes over for Bruce Willis,
Yeah.
and they're going to find Mel Gibson.
Did you like Harrison Ford in the film?
I like Harrison Ford in the film. I like Mel Gibson in the third one.
The best one was the second one, though. Go ahead and mention it, dog. I know you want to.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I know you want to. Go
It,
ahead.
it wasn't even the part that you're thinking of. It
Go ahead.
wasn't even the part that you're thinking of.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It wasn't the fact that Chuck Norris was in it.
No, Chuck Norris making the Chuck Norris joke.
Chuck Norris making the Chuck Norris joke was hilarious. But let's get back to the first one. Let's not go into it.
Yeah.
Let's not go into it.
Yeah.
So I was really confused in the beginning of the first one because it's like Stallone versus Statham. Like they have like the 3 on the left and the 3 on the right. And they have like the gun versus knife.
Yeah. That...
Which all I could hear was your dad. Like, oh, the gun would be so much faster. Because there's no way you're going to throw a knife, reach down, grab another knife, reach down, grab another knife before this dude pulls a trigger.
Yeah.
But they made it like close.
Yeah.
And it was just ridiculous.
But they do it again. It's because didn't they do it originally in the boat? They did it originally in the boat.
No, and this is just something that they did. This was in the very first scene where they get there and they have hostages and those guys are all around. I don't know if it's on a boat.
No. I know what scene you're talking about where they're by the truck, and then they get surrounded when they're with the chick.
No.
Oh.
No, the very first scene where you're introduced before Dolph snitches. This is when Dolph is like, he does the whole hanging the pirate thing. And
That's what I'm saying. That's on a boat.
Yeah, I can't remember the boat. I couldn't remember where. I didn't remember scenery.
Yeah, it's because they're in the middle of the boat, the cargo part of it.
Yeah.
And they're surrounded by the pirates are surrounding like all the hostages.
Yes.
And then they're going in.
Yeah.
And that's when he's like, "Oh, I could throw knives faster than." He goes, "I killed 3. How many did you get?" And he's like, 4. The gun is faster than the knife or whatever. Which obviously.
Yeah. And then they go on and like as soon as they leave that.
Yeah.
Before they even really delve into like the team, you get hit right away with
out on the motorcycles, right?
No, not
the motorcycle scenes right after that.
No, they go to the love interest, the Statham love interest, where his chick cheated on him, and
oh, you're talking about what they're talking about?
No, not what they're talking about. Where it like cuts, like they get off the boat, and then they go right into. Before you even find out that he fired, Gunner, or Dolph. It goes right into the love interest. And, like, he got her, like, this little ruby ring and shit like that. And it was just, I don't know, it was a weird cut to see. Like, it almost like they had to add it in to give Statham more time.
Probably. That's what I'm saying. Stallone, because, Stallone wrote this movie.
Yeah, I can tell.
So,
I can tell.
He's actually a really good screenwriter. He wrote Rocky and most of the Rocky franchise and helped write, like, what is it, Creed and stuff like that. So he's actually really good screenwriter. Just
yeah, but trying to write.
I think to accommodate for all these guys was really his downfall.
It was a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's hard.
He's not good enough to do that.
Like I think he's really good at like maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, if it was just him and Statham, I think it would have been good. And like you had cameos, like the Chuck Norris cameo in the second one.
Yeah.
Because really, it's just a cameo.
Yeah,
and Bruce Willis was a cameo in all 3, really.
Yeah.
And then I could not get over in the first one, especially that Stallone looks like he had like major plastic surgery to look younger for this movie.
Because in general, though.
Yeah,
but he just wants to stay young, dog. This is a guy that's been known for his mamadones. I'm gonna say it in Spanish, but his
I don't know what that
fitness,
means.
His fitness.
Yeah,
he's always been Rambo or Rocky, or like the
he's still extremely fit. Like even in the movie, he looks extremely fit.
I think this is the movie where he acknowledged he took steroids, though.
Yeah, but I mean, still.
Yeah, but like finally acknowledge it.
If I took steroids, you wouldn't see a 6-pack develop.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, I get it. You would just
bigger, but Bunsa still.
You might have more of a beard.
Ooh. Damn, shots fired, dog.
I don't know how steroids work.
Shots fired.
Obviously, I don't know how steroids work. So what I'm getting, but definitely,
but I couldn't get over it. I could not get over it. The only thing that anytime he was in a scene, I was like, "What is wrong with his face?"
Yeah, well, I think he did it for this film mainly, though.
Yeah, but at least do it well. If you're gonna put your plastic surgery in the film's
But
budget,
man, and all three of these films, see, that's why I'm having a hard time remembering. But I remember for all three of these films, there was like accidents galore, and I think he got injured in one of these films.
yeah, by Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, there you go, by Stone Cold when he was doing. I think he had like a mini heart attack or something like that.
Yeah,
Like it was pretty crazy, but
I mean Stone Cold dog, Stone
yeah,
Cold
yeah, he's a beast, man.
Attitude Era.
This I never watched Stone Cold as a wrestler. Just putting that out there, and I really never watched any of his movies either.
That hurts.
But in this movie, I've always known who he is. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Yeah,
of course, I've
iconic.
heard about him, but I've never seen him fight. I mean, I know the Stone Cold Stunner. We just talked about it just the other day.
Yeah,
But I never actually watched him.
yeah.
I know he drinks a lot of beer. Texas. That's right.
He has his own beer.
God dang right.
He has his own beer. Ooh, sponsorship by Stone Cold.
What?
Broken Skull Ranch beer.
What is it? What is it? What's his name? Come on.
Oh, Brandon.
Yeah.
Shout out Brandon. He'll never listen to
No,
this.
never.
He doesn't like hearing us talk in person.
Yes.
He's definitely not going to go on the internet for it.
No. But the film itself, the first one,
And then Arnold was like a weird role in this. Like he's
was
just
he
like
in the first one
yeah, he was there. Remember
in the church?
Yeah,
Where he
in the
didn't want
church
the
with
contract.
church, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, now I'm busy
Yeah.
anyway."
Yeah.
It was
But
like a weird.
got to keep in mind, he was a governor at the time. So
Oh, really?
He went and shot it just
On his part time.
Yeah.
Like,
But also, you also have to keep in mind that him and Stallone
Oh,
have like
and
this
that's-
huge like.
yeah, they had a rivalry.
They've always had a rivalry. Even to this day, they still talk smack about each other.
Yeah, but now they love each other.
No. It's always been a love hate thing. That's
Yeah.
why they've always been good friends, but they're always gonna compete. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all know that those two guys that are always competing for no reason, that's them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We all know. We see them out on the job sites and stuff like that. Well, that's these guys, but they got money. Yeah. And but I did remember that scene. Who else comes out in it?
it was a funny joke that they made that I didn't know at the time. They're like, "Oh, this guy wants to be president."
Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes more sense now.
Now you get
It's
it 'cause what
funnier
I told
now.
you.
Yeah, it's funnier now.
Yeah.
Um,
That's sad that you didn't know he was a governor at the time, dog.
no, I didn't know he was a governor. I didn't look at when the movie was made. I knew it was a more recent movie.
But even then, you know he was a governor. It would make sense. Just saying. Just saying. Putting that out
I
there.
couldn't remember if this was after like he lost his governorship after his whole sex scandal thing.
Well, no, he had his 2 terms.
You don't just get 2 terms as governor.
Oh, I don't know.
No, you don't get just 2 terms. He lost because I think he like resigned because of he got caught with his maid.
Well, no, he didn't get caught with his maid.
They had a kid,
They
right?
had a kid,
Yeah,
and it was already big and stuff. So he didn't get caught. It just came out. In
Discovered.
public. Yeah.
brought into the light, if you will.
Man, speaking of which, I'm sorry, off topic. Have you seen that kid?
No,
The dude's a spitting image, but Latino.
still jacked.
Huge, bro. What I'm talking about, like, wow, he looks just like the pictures of Arnold when he was like Mr. Universe or whatever that is.
Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, that.
It was Mr. Universe too. I'll give you it.
To be honest with you, I don't care. But
It's impressive.
but I do remember that's roughly what it was called. My dad used to be a bodybuilder. Obviously, I built my body to be round, and so what's it
A
called?
different kind of training.
Yeah,
Don't throw up when you eat too much.
yeah, that's difficult. That's difficult, especially for me. But what I was getting at is he looks just like him, dude. Like
Yeah.
spitting image of him. It's crazy. Carlos, laugh, man. Just do it. Just do it. You're gonna choke on that donut.
The donut call out.
Sorry, Carlos. Carlos, our town guy. If this is, you should already know this is an ongoing thing.
Yeah, we
He's
have to
over there
make
in the
fun of
corner,
him a little bit.
trying not to make a sound, and of course he's bright red, trying not to laugh at our stupidity. And now he's eating donuts, so it's a dangerous game he's playing.
I can't remember his name.
Which one?
The
Tattoo artist?
no, Mickey Rourke or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Whiplash.
he was a minor thing, but he was okay.
He was Whiplash.
Yeah, he was okay.
I just
Meh.
I
not
think it's
his movies.
crazy for that guy, man. Like, have you ever seen pictures of him before he destroyed his face,
No.
bro? Like, admit, like the dude was beautiful,
Yeah.
and like he just messed up his face.
Really.
Yeah, man. And you know he blames it on boxing because he was an actual boxer.
Yeah.
But like, nah, man. Like, you did plastic surgery. Just own up to that shit. That shit was horrible.
Yeah. And then like the plot was really easy to read in this. Like you knew Gunner was going to betray him.
Yeah,
Like from
after what he did at the boat, yeah, it was immediate.
not even after the boat. It was like blatant foreshadowing when he was like, "Oh, you can't trust me." Okay. When
Yeah.
he was asking him about the job and stuff like that, it was blatant foreshadowing. You know who I did love in this movie?
Who?
Angel, the guy from Dexter, the detective from Dexter.
As the dictator,
Yes,
I hated him.
I loved him.
I hate him because his accent is horrible.
I
His accent is
loved him.
so horrible. I'm
I
sorry.
loved it.
Even in Dexter, his accent is horrible. I don't know what it is. Because in Dexter, I think he's supposed to be Cuban, and this one he's supposed to be some kind of South American country.
Something.
I don't know. It's a made up
South
country,
American island.
and yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm also not because I see things when they make movies that are supposedly in Mexico. Is it
Mm-hmm.
Mexico? Mexico. Uh, the they're never Mexican, so it's like as a Mexican, you hear the different. It's okay. Just to put it,
The dialects.
yeah, it's dialects, and I'm gonna put it this like imagine someone portraying a New Yorkan with the Texan accent. It's just
Yeah.
but you know.
Yeah. I understand. I understand what you
A
mean.
Canadian in America, you know, y'all are gonna get mad.
Yeah.
Well, but it's okay for all these weird accents being portrayed as Mexicans is horrible to me. But I've always had a pet peeve about that, but mainly because I'm from there.
Yeah.
I don't say that, but yeah, that's one of my pet peeves in this movie is him. I hated him in this film.
I loved him.
I hated him in this film. You have such good Latino actors, and you choose that guy.
Yes.
Sorry,
He's
he was
great.
horrible. He was
He's
really
great.
bad.
He's great.
Just super
I want to see
overly
him in
bad
more
acted.
stuff.
It's like Julia Roberts' brother is the main bad guy, the CIA
really?
guy. Yeah, that's Julia Roberts' brother.
You talking about in the
The guy that's always with Stone Cold.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Julia Roberts' brother.
Hmm.
Yeah, and he plays a lot of bad guys in movies and stuff like that, like cheesy like direct to DVD movies.
Yeah.
But
He is oh man.
you know how I found out he was her brother?
No.
Celebrity Rehab. Do you remember that TV show? VH1. Well, he was on there, and it was funny because you know what his drug addict of choice. I mean, his drug addiction was vaping marijuana. Irony.
Maybe a little.
Yeah, but so he was addicted to vaping marijuana, and then you had this guy from like this rock and roll band that was addicted to like heroin and like pain pills and like, and he's just sitting there having to listen to all these like grotesque stories, and it reminded me of the scene from Half Baked, where it's like I'm addicted to marijuana, and everybody's come on man, get out of here, come on, get out of here.
Yeah.
Have you ever sucked dick for marijuana? Well, no. God, that's not an addiction. Get out of here.
This program is not rated for children.
Well, I already have to click it. You have never had to upload, but it's an option.
Oh really?
But basically, yeah, that's what always reminds me. Is the bad guy is like Julia Roberts' brother, and he does a better job of being a bad guy than the supposed bad guy.
Well, he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
I mean, even Stone Cold brought up the fact that, or not Stone Cold, Stallone brought up the fact that they got hired to kill the dictator, the general. That's the word I'm looking for. I keep thinking of Arnold and saying governor, but the general, even though he thought that they really wanted him to kill the ex-CIA guy.
Yeah.
So the second one.
Yes.
Jump into that one.
Moving on, because there's not much to say about these films. They're cheesy action films. Either you like them, or you really hate them. Well, did wait on? We never went through it. What's
No,
your
I'm surprised
order?
you didn't ask.
What's your order?
231.
2, 3, 1.
231.
So one is the one you hate the most.
Yeah, I disliked one the most.
Wow. Okay. So we differ there. I like two the most, mainly because of Chuck Norris, and but probably give it 2, 1, and 3 because 3 to me was horrible.
I like 3 because of. Ooh, sorry for that in the audio. Uh, I like 3 because of Mel Gibson. I really like Mel Gibson's character. I think he did a good job of playing a bad guy, and I like the fight scene between Mel Gibson and Stallone. You know, the
Well,
I liked it.
Mel Gibson. I'm just happy that they gave him a chance, but I really
Yeah.
didn't. It was just too much. The third one to me was just way too many people and not enough, like acknowledging that there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like Ronda Rousey's character, I'm telling you that. I know he's. I just remember him as the boxer because I used to actually like him boxing
Hmm.
before he got knocked out by Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Because Floyd Mayweather cheap shotted him. I don't know if you remember that.
No, I don't watch boxing.
Well, Floyd Mayweather and him were boxing, and so this guy's like telling him like, my bad, like I'm sorry. I think he headbutted him,
Yeah.
and he's thinking that the referee has them like apart, and the
Yeah.
referee never took him apart. So Floyd Mayweather cheap shotted him, hit him twice, and knocked him out.
Yeah.
So in all fairness, he should have been paying more attention. But like, dude, like, it's a boxing's supposed to be like
A gentleman's sport.
yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Um, but the second one,
Victor something.
the second one I liked the best because one, the action is better,
Yeah.
and it's more punny.
Yes.
Like they added more puns, which I think if you're gonna bring all these iconic action stars in,
Yeah, and make fun of themselves essentially.
yeah, they're making fun of themselves. Like you better have
Yeah.
some of their punchlines in it.
Correct.
I mean, how do you not write that in?
Correct.
Like no one's gonna take this as a serious action film.
No.
It's like a last hurrah for Dolph, pretty much. Because I mean, Stallone's still doing movies. He's like in between. He's almost too young, but not too old
Yeah.
anymore. Like I would still watch a Statham movie if it came out. I can't remember the last one that came out.
Well, the one that I remember the most, uh, that came out like around this time is The Mechanic. Did you ever watch The Mechanic?
No,
Well,
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't even watched that many Statham films.
yeah, they're really good. Most of his films are pretty good.
I think I've seen like part of the Transporters. I think I've seen part of like Crank. But I
Crank
really,
is like his most outrageous one.
yeah, I really like him in. Man, I just went blank on the movie and I just watched it. I'm not gonna be able to remember,
I don't know.
and I hate myself for it. It's like one where like he like moved to like
Homeland.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, is it Homeland?
It's something like that. Homeland or something like that, where he's in Louisiana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like that.
With James Franco as the bad guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
I really like that one, but um. The plot was still pretty predictable. Like you knew that they were gonna go get this hard drive off of the plane, and you knew as soon as they came out, like they went in and there was nothing. You knew as soon as they came out, someone was gonna be waiting for them.
You know how I mentioned that I hadn't watched this film since pretty much the theater?
Yeah.
Mainly because when I get here, my wife would not let me play these films.
Oh, really? She hates them.
It will not. None doesn't even. As soon as I play them, she's like, "Oh, let me just leave the room." And since I don't really like
Being
I think
alone?
it's fair. Like I don't think it's fair if we don't watch things together. So
Yeah.
all right, I give up. I give up that argument. But in all fairness, I would watch all three of these again, minus the third one. The third one is the one with Wesley Snipes, right? I am thinking
Yes.
about that correctly.
Yes.
Yeah. Then it's definitely that one. We'll never
Yeah.
watch that one again.
I
But
liked
the
it.
first two for sure.
Yeah, I enjoyed the second one. Um, Chuck Norris making a Chuck Norris joke, and after 5 days of pain and agony, the snake finally died.
Yeah.
And then,
Hilarious.
him and Stallone start laughing and all the other guys look confused.
Don't lie though.
I laughed.
When you saw that. Did it not make you think of our homie Connor?
Yeah, I mean, anytime someone brings up Chuck Norris, I think of Connor.
Yeah. Just to let y'all know, our friend Connor, shout outs Connor, you're being mentioned on our video now. He used to wear a shirt. This is how I met this guy. We go to school with him
Oh,
at our
this
local
reminds me of
union.
something else.
He wears a shirt that says America, and on the bottom it says Chuck yeah. Well, technically it said America F yeah, but he scratched out the F and puts in Chuck
Yeah.
yeah. It is hilarious. And I think he had the shirt, he had the sweater, he had the hat.
He's a Chuck Norris fan.
He's a huge Chuck Norris fan, but I think he knows him like personally.
Yeah.
And so it makes, of course, that makes a huge difference. You know what I mean?
Eh,
But like, yeah, if I knew Chuck Norris, I'll probably be watching more of his stuff too.
maybe.
You know, get a conversation out of him. But
Maybe.
but for sure, Connor always. Anytime I hear anything Chuck Norris,
I think of Connor.
I think of Connor. So
I'm not gonna lie. They were in the third movie
Uh-huh.
when he went to go find one of the guys. I can't remember who. One of the new expendable characters.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot.
They went to the Grand Teton Mountains,
Yeah, you thought of him.
and all I could think about is
Yeah,
Connor.
yeah. Well, let's explain that. So he had this. It was a hat, right? A beanie,
Yeah, it was a beanie that said
beanie.
Grand Teton.
Teton. But again, I speak Spanish, so I immediately read it in Spanish, and I read teton. And teton, a gran teton, it means it's like a man with really good bust,
Yeah,
right?
man boobs,
Really big man boobs, and
movies,
and what you
not
don't
rated for
understand,
children.
what you don't understand is that Connor, our good friend Condor, used to be about, if you know anything about men's waist sizes, he used to be about 28, and maybe
Yeah,
big
20,
on him,
26.
and now he's up to like 36. So he's slowly been gaining weight since he's known us. And so we make fun of him all the time because we've been big since we
Since
you know,
he's known us, but it's really been since he started eating with us.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then,
Poor
so
Connor.
then he has this hat on, and I'm like, dude, you're just promoting that you have these big old man boobs. And he's like, no, it's some kind
They're an
of.
actual mountain range.
I was like, oh, goes to show how
Whoops.
much I know about nature. But that's what I read, Gran Teton. And oh man, you know what's funny? Off topic. That's the day that the whole sassy thing happened. That's the same day.
Oh, really?
That's
I
the
don't think
same
we should
day.
bring that up.
No. But in our class, we had this whole inner joke about me being sassy. But we might discuss that later.
After we turn out?
Yeah, maybe if we,
After
maybe,
we turn out.
yeah, pretty much. But we might discuss that later. But as of right now, we can't talk about it like at all.
So I think my favorite part of this whole movie
Yeah.
is,
Part 2.
yeah, but part 2 is
Yeah.
when Arnold says, "I'm back,"
Yeah.
and he's making fun of himself.
Mhm.
But then later, when Arnold goes, "I'll be back," and Willis goes, "No, you've been back enough.
Yeah.
I'll be back."
Yeah. And that's
That cracked me up.
he has machine guns, right? He
Yeah.
comes out with his machine guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was a dope office scene, like shootout, like because that's when like the puns happen. All within like this, like maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like all these action sequences and all these puns are all throwing at each other, and then at the very end, you get Chuck Norris and all his.
Well, Chuck Norris is in the middle.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, after like around that office scene stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also like because there was more Terry Crews in this one, which the second or the first and third lacked.
Yeah, Terry Crews is amazing. Like
I don't know why
they should have gave him way more chances.
Well, Terry Crews isn't. I wouldn't call him like an action star.
No, but
Like
he's
I'm not
funny.
gonna put him on like Statham and Stallone and Arnold and Willis and.
But he's funny and like he.
No, I agree.
but
But there
this is-
should have been way more of him.
This is where they should have played onto it. Like they should have used him.
Yes.
Like they
Yes.
should have used him. Like for sure. Like it needed some hilarity because
Yeah, he looks like an action star.
yes, a
The
massive.
man is jacked.
Yeah, but what they needed in this movie was a little bit of like.
I think all of my favorite
Comedic
parts
levity.
of the movies have to be with Terry Crews. Because like you talked about the
Yeah.
part where he comes in with the shotgun, and he's blowing everyone away,
Yeah.
and he says, "Christmas came early."
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I remember it being gory.
It is.
Yeah, I
It
remember that
is.
first one being gory.
It reminds me of what your dad talks about, where he hates it, where like one bullet's gonna rip someone in half.
Yeah, because that's what that shotgun does.
Yeah, it's ripping
Yeah.
people in half.
It's like boom, and like you just see all this blood everywhere.
And then the second one is where he's cooking his dinner.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, nothing wrong with rigatoni. Tell you all the time, boys, plan ahead. As he's still stirring his pot,
Yeah.
cracks me up every time.
Yeah.
So
he's definitely the least used character and the most underrated character.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's funnier than any of the other ones.
Yeah.
Any of the other ones combined.
Yeah. But if I remember correctly, I think on the third one, Randy Couture doesn't come out, right, anymore?
No, he does.
He does?
He does.
It's man, he's just they really didn't use him at all.
I would say he's like bottom line for the action.
Really? And Ronda Rousey is?
Well, I'm talking about from the old guys. I'm talking about from the old guys.
Because all he was I didn't know who he was. I had to look him up. I
knew because of the ears.
I don't watch UFC, so I didn't really know who he was.
Yeah.
Just put that out there.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, why was he in it? You need to fill a spot.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
He must be good friends with Stallone or something.
I mean, maybe, but yeah. I mean, I wasn't impressed with his character. He was kind of, I don't know. He bored me.
Okay. So that's pretty much two though, right? Then.
Yeah, that pretty much wraps up two.
I'm like, I don't think
there's not much else. There's a lot of action scenes.
I do want to say though, I remember Jean-Claude Van Damme being the bad guy in part 2, and
yeah,
and I think he did a pretty decent job, but at the same time, he also messed up his face with cosmetic surgeries.
His face was obscured a lot.
Yeah,
I did like the fight scene between him and Stallone,
where he does the kick. That's all you need from Jean-Claude Van Damme is that kick.
Yes.
If he doesn't do the kick, get out of here.
Yeah, I also I like the retribution aspect of the story.
Don't lie.
It was a nice touch.
As a kid, did you try to do the kick though?
No.
I did.
No.
Never could. Never could. I can't open my legs that out.
Well, why'd you even have to say anything?
I'm just saying.
Why'd you have to say?
I
they don't know how short your legs are.
I'm short. I'm 5'5". So
no, but you're also more torso than leg.
Yeah.
So imagining you doing the kick is really cracking me up.
It's hilarious. Yes.
But
yes.
To the third one, I loved Wesley Snipes in it.
I didn't.
I loved what.
I didn't.
My favorite part. He's like, oh, I can't wait to go home, get some nice threads on, maybe go get some good food. And Statham's like, oh, you didn't tell him, did you? He's like, no. He's like, oh, we're a man down on the job, so you're coming with. He goes, man, I ain't even got none of my shit. And he hands him a bag. He goes, this is my shit. Yeah. Just confused.
Yeah, because they had to like break him out of jail and stuff like that.
Yeah, they broke him off of it like a train.
And then I think they acknowledged his tax issues at one point.
His what?
His tax issues, because he was in jail for tax evasion.
Yeah, because they said you were. He's like, why were you in jail? Tax evasion.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. I like Wesley Snipes. Blade was amazing. The Art of War.
He called Dolph Rocky.
Yeah.
Which was funny. I wish he would have called him Creed.
I think more than anything, it's his. I think it was the script. Like, I think
he had. Script. Well, they tried to portray him as like this crazy guy, and it's like you can't just portray him as like another badass.
No.
I mean, he a little crazy.
I'm like, no,
but
it suits him better that he's crazy. But I personally really didn't care for him too much. I really didn't care for the movie in general. Like, I feel like they try to shoehorn so many people in one little movie and then not explain how all these people really got there, other than just like, oh, they're new members.
Oh, speaking of Terry Crews, it was one of my favorite part of the third movie was like Terry Crews on the boat. He's like, make some room, and like launches the boat onto the back of the truck. And Statham's like, what was that? Stallone's like, big black guy in a boat.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that pretty much sums up Terry Crews in that scene.
Yes.
He's enormous.
Yes.
I mean, and once again, in the third movie, he was underused.
Yes.
After like the first part of the movie, it was
Yeah.
like he was in the hospital
Yes.
and just so underused. And
Correct. So that's what I'm saying, and that for
I think you're
me,
right. It's 213, two one
I,
three.
because you can't get over how two is way more memorable than one.
Yeah, two is
Way, way more
two
memorable
is the
than one.
best.
Yeah, and then one is just it's okay. It's not the greatest, but it's okay. Like I'm gonna watch it again if I ever get away from being from my wife. I'm gonna watch it again.
That sounds weird,
I
but
know, but you know what I mean. Like if she ever like
hangs out with her friend.
hangs out with my sisters or something like that,
Yeah,
or goes somewhere, oh, I'm watching this movie. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But I'm I can't watch it with her.
Now I'm feeling like three was done just out of pressure from like Gibson and Snipes.
Probably so. Like you have all these people that he didn't use on the other. Well, keep in mind, we all kind of know why Mel Gibson wasn't on the other ones. Mel Gibson
Do
kind of
we?
like went
Do
crazy.
we?
Like I love the fact that like we can all say thank you South Park, because South Park pretty much nailed the what's
Yeah.
called nailed the head on the nail
Hmm.
on his craziness.
Yeah.
He went
He
crazy,
went off the
man.
deep end for a little bit.
And don't
Ricky
get
Gervais said it best though.
yeah,
and,
yeah. He I'm sorry, and don't get me wrong. I think you, just like I am, are Mel Gibson kind of fans.
yeah, I
Which
enjoy Mel Gibson's movies.
I genuinely love some of his films, even after like he got blackballed and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I like Fat Man.
I haven't seen it, so I can't talk about that one.
I just got it, so I'm gonna make you watch it eventually.
But I do have a fondness for Get the Gringo.
Yeah,
I told you about.
Patriot, Braveheart.
I've never fully. I don't really remember the picture, but I do remember it being good. But Game Braveheart,
Yeah,
um, Lethal Weapon, man. Anybody who thinks of Mel Gibson
yeah,
thinks of Lethal Weapon, and that's actually an episode that we're gonna have to do
it's
pretty soon.
upcoming.
Yeah, because
Upcoming.
can you believe this guy? Seriously, Lethal Weapon,
Why you
and
gotta throw
he's
me under the
hey,
bus like that?
and he's an action film guy,
I
action
I
film,
told you. I
and
think
it's a buddy cop funny film. Like you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
telling you. I think I watched part of them as a kid,
I think you're
but
gonna love him.
I'm pretty sure I watched part of them as a kid.
The Chris
But
Rock one you're gonna love.
my dad is so into new movies that it was like we watched. I think I watched like three
Oh, I know.
as a kid because it
I
was
know
on
your dad's
TV.
into new movies.
But then it's like, oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I know.
yes. But then from then on, it's always new movies with my dad because my dad worked late when I was growing up, so he didn't. He went to work at like 5 or 6, and he got out at like 9 or 10 at night. So there wasn't a lot of free time for him.
Yeah.
So like on like Sunday when he would have the one day off he had a week, he's like, "Oh, let's go to movies. Let's watch the new movie." It was never like, "Oh, let me show you this classic." And I think that has a lot to do with why I haven't seen a lot of the movies that you're making me watch.
Well,
Making me watch.
I guess because like my mom,
Making me watch.
excuse me, for my mom, like my dad was the same way. Like I rarely ever saw my dad at home,
Yeah,
even on the weekend. Like rare, he was always. And even now, you've seen him. My dad is 70 something years old.
he's 70. Exactly 70.
I don't
He
remember.
just turned 70.
No, that's right. He just turned 70. And then so then you've seen him. He's at my house, and the man can't stay still.
No, he disappears.
There's times where I have a 3 bedroom house, and
And he disappears.
we don't know where he goes.
There can be 10 people in the house,
Yeah, we don't know where he
and no
goes.
one will know where he's at.
Yeah,
You
so
looked on your security cameras to
and
find him, and he's
it's nowhere to be
nowhere
found.
to be found.
So he's just man. He's not one of those guys to sit still. So I understand that feeling, but my dad just never liked movies. Period.
Yeah,
But my mom, on the other hand, like no matter we would watch the new stuff. Yeah, because we would go to the movies. Thank you, dollar movies, dollar cinemas that existed out there.
yeah.
Because that's how we would watch like the newer stuff. and then of course we would rent a lot of movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But but we would always still watch, like we would always have time for our classic films. Like
Yeah.
my mom used to watch some movies over and over again,
Yeah.
without fail. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where we definitely differ, because I don't mind watching the new stuff, but I'm always gonna have room for my older stuff too, because they paved the way for what we're watching
Well,
now.
that's how it's kind of it's it's how I grew up is watching the new stuff.
Yeah,
Like if you're talking about a movie from that came out after like 2001, odds are I've seen it.
yeah,
Odds are I've seen it. It's just the classic stuff that I didn't watch.
yeah.
You know, and I'm not gonna lie, I blame my mom.
But
I blame my mom.
I don't think you watched this. This was like newer stuff. Expendables. I
This
mean,
this came out in when?
I have no idea. I didn't look it up.
Wait, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Go
Y'all
ahead.
can see my phone. I don't care.
Go ahead.
Look,
Go ahead.
it's a
See.
Samsung. Shout out Samsung.
Yeah, because I
Expendables.
remember watching this at the movie theaters.
2010.
I was about to say it had to be like 2008, 2000, somewhere.
I think
around
2010 is. I was in high school, so at that point, I didn't really go to the movies in high school.
there.
I'm not gonna lie, I was doing other things.
I got you. I got you. I
Yeah.
understand. I understand. It's like me not watching SpongeBob.
Yeah, you gave up on Nickelodeon once you entered high school,
Pretty
middle
much.
school.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
And
and
but
then you married someone
who
younger
loves
than you
SpongeBob?
and loves
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Love SpongeBob. And oddly enough, nothing up there. Nothing up there. SpongeBob. I should put something up there.
I'm just gonna let you know this is your room. There's not much of her in here. There's like a Harry Potter set
Yeah.
that they can't see,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
There's a SpongeBob up there on top of what we're looking at.
Okay, two things.
There you go.
She has two.
She's got some stuff, you guys.
Y'all can't see the rest of the room, but this is definitely a man cave. It's a
So,
media room.
but hold on, we're going off topic. Now I feel like y'all are hitting me. And by y'all I mean Larry and my wife. They're always ganging up on me.
We see the world similarly.
But what I'm saying is, part 3 is definitely not the greatest one.
No, I like
I'm
Mel
still
Gibson in
watch
it though.
I'm still gonna watch
I like
it.
Mel Gibson in it though.
Yeah,
I'm a Mel Gibson fan.
I get it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I get it, and
I can't think of a
I
Van Damme
understand
movie that I've seen.
why he would come out on this one, because like really, man, like he went nuts on the other ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like for sure, like you made me watch. That's a movie you made me watch, was Apocalipto. And
Yeah,
I don't
and you
regret
loved it.
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
That was a great film.
Didn't I buy that for you? I believe I bought you the Blu-ray.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
because for the longest time, Apocalypto was out of print.
Yeah, it was expensive.
And it went out of print because of Mel Gibson going crazy.
Yeah.
Because it was all directed by him. Like I think it was written by him.
No, I think it's the Weinstein Company. Though anything Weinstein Company.
Well, I think that they stopped that because of how he was acting. They stopped production on it, and then Miramax, because of Harvey, has like stopped production on a lot of things.
Yeah, man.
But we won't get into that.
Yeah, it's just
That's
kind of crazy. But that's us talking about like our physical media. Maybe y'all are not necessarily into it,
Yeah,
but we definitely look up that kind of stuff, because you try to find like a movie that I love, which is Dogma, you won't find it.
no,
You know what I'm saying? Or
that
like,
movie goes for hundreds of dollars on
yeah,
Blu-ray.
or even like movies like that I also love that he found for me, were the Ernest movies. I don't know if I'm the only one that loves Ernest.
Don't bring up Ernest. I don't want to watch those.
Yeah.
Don't make me watch. Y'all, don't make me watch those.
If y'all want him to watch it, please
No comments.
like, subscribe,
comment on
and
that.
comment and all that stuff, because I know I grew up with Ernest, so I like Ernest, like the whole Halloween one. The
Now you told
goes to
me
jail.
that if I hadn't watched the Ernest movies as a kid,
Yeah.
then I would probably hate the Ernest movie.
Yeah,
This is just High School Musical revenge at this point. That's what that was. Don't hide the smirk.
maybe,
I see it. Your
Maybe.
dimples are showing.
maybe.
The beard didn't hide it.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying that there's that's why we are interested in stuff like that. But not necessarily everybody's into, finding out Blu-rays coming out and stuff like that.
But
But
we talk about why
What?
We collect physical media. We ever talked about that?
Well, for me, it's always. I think I've discussed it. That it's just
You've always done
I've
so.
always done it. Like it's always been. I want it to be able to touch it and hold it, and you know what I mean. Like
We buy things that we like that we can touch.
yeah, and that that I want. Like for example, I just want to throw that. I doubt he's ever gonna watch this, pero apa, look at that. Ahí está the
The
Goofy.
Goofy.
I'm a huge Goofy fan, so those two Goofies that are right there are my pops. Thank you so much, Dad. Te quiero mucho. But
That's
though,
a Star Wars
that's a Star Wars Goofy. He
Darth
found
Vader Goofy.
yeah
Where is it?
he found it for me. I don't know where, but he thought of me and bought it for me,
And it's
it was,
awesome.
yeah, he got it for me for Christmas. So it was adorable. But yeah, anything Goofy I love. I am a huge Goofy fan. Tribilin is how I grew up knowing how he was, so it's kind of hard for me to know him as Goofy, but it's Tribilin. You know what I mean?
Did you,
It's weird. But I watched the movie.
we're
Goofy
gonna have
movie.
to talk about that in a later episode.
What?
Um, I don't want to get into it.
Oh, okay.
No spoilers, dog.
All right.
So the next movies that we're doing,
Yeah, I forgot. What are we doing?
uh, I believe it's. Oh man, don't get me lying. I want to say it's Twilight
I'm not sure.
in 90. Where's your calendar?
It's over
Carlos, look at the calendar. I believe it's Twilight and uh the 90s sports films
there. That sounds about right.
that we're doing next.
It sounds about right.
It,
I don't think he understands my calendar.
I'm gonna go off camera real quick. I'll be back. The search continues. I hope y'all can still hear me. No, it's movies on replay. Movies on replay.
Okay. Movies on
Oh
replay.
yeah, this is gonna be a good episode.
Okay, so the very next episode that we're gonna discuss on this one is gonna be movies on replay. Do you want to explain to him what that means?
So movies on replay is movies that we've watched over and over again.
Yeah.
So I brought up how I instead of watching a classic movie, I get distracted and I'm like, ooh, let me watch this. It's one of my favorites. So I want to watch that. And you've mentioned that you always have time to go back.
Yes. So I always, even if I watch a new one, I'm gonna go back and watch something that I like to watch over and over again. Um, for example, like I think one of the main movies that I'm making him watch, and this is make him watch because he refused to watch it, is in Spanish is El Laberinto del Fauno, in English is Pan's Labyrinth, and I know he refuses to watch it because it's in Spanish. It's completely in Spanish, but
I hate subtitle movies.
it's a Guillermo del Toro masterpiece. It's one
I
of the
can't
greatest
watch
films.
I can't watch Parasite. I've noticed that with me I get tunnel vision and I'm just reading.
Yeah.
Because I like to read. I read books.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting a little library in my house. But it's just
But if I'm not mistaken, I think the Blu-ray has the dub. If you want to watch the dub,
oh, I'll definitely do that then.
but it's I've always watched the.
I'm interested now to see
dub.
the differences that we catch when we talk about dialogue and stuff like that in that movie.
Maybe,
If it does have the dub.
maybe I don't know. I've always watched it in Spanish.
So
but that's the main movie, and this is a movie that even with my wife, my wife and I watched this movie over and over again. I think easily we're in the month of what, February?
No. Wait, when this is
According
coming
to
out?
this, yeah, February.
When this is coming out, yeah, February.
So and
I believe this is the
we
last
probably already
February
watched it
episode.
like maybe 3-4 times.
Yeah.
Like we love these films.
So the movies you're making me watch
Yeah.
are Pan's Labyrinth.
Yes.
Do you even remember the other two?
I believe it was Waiting and Van Wilder.
No.
Okay, then which
A
one?
Goofy movie and Casper.
Oh, well, I gave you a break. That's what it was.
Well, no,
That's what it
because
was.
we have those planned for a different episode.
Yeah, so that I remember that. So, yeah, I'm making her watch Pan's Labyrinth, Casper, the '90s live action Casper, with cameo by Dan Aykroyd from Ghostbusters. And I mentioned it. And
I'm gonna
then
rewatch that. I haven't watched it since I was a kid. I have
yeah,
seen it. I bought the Blu-ray Steelbook.
and then a Goofy movie. But a
Yeah,
Goofy movie, obviously, I just mentioned it. I will
it's your
watch
shit.
it over and over and over again, and I come to love that movie since ever since I can remember. Come on, you guys, Powerline. Come on. I think I wore the shirt.
You did wear the Powerline
I
shirt.
was like,
And then I'm making you watch The Rundown, Agent Cody Banks, and Scooby Doo Cyber Chase.
yes, 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 he is.
I love Scooby Doo movies.
Yes, yes,
Any Scooby Doo movie is pretty much on replay in my house.
yeah.
But I didn't want to make them all Scooby Doo movies
So he's
because
doing them
then
in chunks.
it would just be a High School Musical episode.
He's doing them in chunks.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you like I have a top three. This is gonna be not in any particular order. It just depends on my mood. But this is the second of the three. Because in the guilty pleasures, I gave you
Zombie Island.
a Scooby Doo on Zombie Island.
Yeah.
This is Scooby Doo Cyber Chase. At some point, you'll have to watch Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
I'm tempted to. Yeah.
But let me say this: the reason why we're doing this one, the real reason why we're doing it, is because when we recorded, at this point was Guilty Pleasures. We had such a good time discussing these films that we figured we'll do another one like kind of quick, back to back because it was so much fun recording it, having Carlos laugh in the
Yeah.
background, showing us like we're doing pretty good. So we were
Yeah.
like, all right, well, let's try it again.
That and if we're just this isn't a channel about us or a channel podcast all of the above now
Yeah.
about us watching movie series. There's other podcasts and channels about people watching movie series and talking about them, but we're watching movies that I haven't seen, and we're not gonna limit a lot. Okay, they get it. They know by now. Yeah, this is episode 9 or 10.
I have no idea.
I think it's 10.
Nine.
9?
I think it's 9.
9. They know by now.
Right.
That I haven't watched a lot of stuff.
No, 10.
Is it 10?
I think it's 10.
No, this is going to be a weird episode.
It's 10.
uh, our writing in this episode has been like Stallone's.
Yeah.
But we don't write anything.
No.
But it's, if we just do series, we're going to run out real fast.
Yes.
We're going to run out. And there's so many one-shot movies where there's only one or two that we can't do a full episode about 2 movies.
But more importantly, we didn't want to get burnt out because at the end of the day, this guy has to watch a lot of movies, and that burns you out. I'm not gonna lie. Like at this point, I'm watching Twilight, and I'm already starting to get burnt out on Twilight. You know what I mean? Like it's stuff like that. Like, and I'm the guy that likes watching movies, so I can only imagine him.
I mean, I enjoy watching movies, but now you're realizing what I was talking about when I was watching like Indiana Jones. Like I like the movies, but it's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Like when you're talking about 8 to 10 hours of movies that you're trying to take in, and usually we record every couple days.
It's always different because it doesn't bother me when it's movies that I somewhat like, and I don't like these films.
Yeah. No. Now it's your fault we're doing these. Just want to point out. Really, it's your wife's fault.
Yeah.
Because she was pushing for High School Musical, and we kind of tag teamed you on that. She was pushing for Twilight, kind of tag teamed you on that. Now the other one that you're going to watch, that you have, that I don't want to mention yet, that was all you.
Yeah.
You asked for that. I wasn't going to make you watch
it. Torture myself. I'm already watching these shitty movies. Might as well go ahead and watch them all.
Oh man, spoilers for Twilight.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but so we're going to do those 6 movies, and he has a lot of individual movies that he wants me to watch.
A lot.
And when it comes to individual movies that aren't classics, I have a lot that I want you to watch as well.
Yeah. So we're thinking of like different little themes and stuff like that, and it's just probably gonna be like part of a series. Like you might hear again movies on replay too and stuff like that.
Yeah, guilty pleasures too.
Yeah, because we like them more than anything. We like them because you're not forced to watch the same thing.
Yeah, it changes things up.
Yeah, and more importantly, it's 3 and 3. We try to make it three me, three him.
Yeah.
Three me, three him. So it changes dynamic a bit because at that point it's not just me arguing with him that hey man these are classic movies.
Yeah.
It's also him arguing with me like hey Scooby Doo is actually good.
Yeah. He didn't
They're
consider Scooby Doo a movie. He considered
not.
it just a
They're
cartoon.
not. They're
It,
cartoons, man.
no, it's a movie.
I'm still gonna watch them.
It's a movie. That's like saying every Batman cartoon is the same, or every Batman movie is the same.
But there's not the same plot over and
Yes,
over
it is.
again.
Yes, it is.
They're
Batman solves the case.
But
Greatest detective.
it's not the same.
You can summarize
Exact-
anything like that.
To the point where in the Scooby Doo, what is it, Zombie Island thing, I literally asked you, you said, yeah, it's an ongoing joke.
Yeah, they do have reoccurring jokes like any series.
I'm just saying.
And you love ongoing jokes. So I don't even want to hear trash about that.
I'm just saying. But I'm still going to watch them. I'm still going to have to watch
In
them.
the comments.
Yeah.
Comment Scooby-Doo
Y'all
is
can hate me.
Scooby-Doo
It's
is a
okay.
movie. No, there's no hate here.
I
There's
don't
only
mind the
love.
hate.
There's only you haven't gotten any hate. Don't act like
You don't
have.
know. You don't know what I get.
I do know because you tell me. It's always about me, and I
Yeah,
accept
most
it.
of the time it's about him.
I accept it.
It's okay. Well, this just wanted to let you guys know what's coming up. We appreciate all the love. Thank you for anybody who subscribes to us, any likes. If you don't like and subscribe us, please. If you can, if you do,
Download.
yeah, download us. If you're listening to us, thank you. Appreciate any kind of love we get. Again, our website is addedtothelistpodcast.com. That's being made and updated by our great sound guy, Carlos. So thank you once again.
Don't forget we have Instagram, Added to the List podcast on Instagram.
We also have Twitter.
I haven't even looked at the Twitter. You
Yeah.
made the Twitter.
I made Twitter, but I don't know how to use it. So
Well, we're figuring out the Twitter. We have a Facebook page, Added to the List podcast. And then coming soon is we're gonna make Instagrams for each of us.
What?
And add them to our website.
I forgot about that. But yes, that is coming.
Coming soon.
Yeah, that's
it
true.
may be out by the time this episode happens.
Yeah.
But
yeah, sorry.
coming soon.
I don't know. I'm not much of a social media guy, so sorry.
Oh,
But,
I am, right?
Yes.
Right.
So
TikTok doesn't count.
so definitely thank you guys once again for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the episode, even though not much to talk about in action films, but appreciate you being here. Thank you so much once again. This is Added to the List podcast with Evelio and
Larry. See you all next time, guys.
Deuce.
Peace.